legendary kids.
Hey parents, is your child enjoying my content? If so, could you hit that subscribe button? I would really appreciate it. Thanks. Chapter 9. Whispers. "And that is how to shine a dragon's scales," Griffith was saying later that week. "Remember, brush one scale at a time. No shortcuts." Rory sighed. "When can we go out again?" Drake was glad Rory had asked. They'd been stuck in the training room for 3 days. Drake liked learning about dragons, but he was used to being outside all day, every day, on his farm back at home. He was starting to forget what the sun looked like. The wizard patted a tall pile of books on his desk. "There is much for you to learn first. We will go out again soon, Rory." Then a soldier came in. He handed something to Griffith. The wizard smiled. "Drake, it is a letter for you." "Read it out loud," Anna said. Drake quickly nodded to Griffith. "Dear Drake, we are glad you are safe. We still don't know why the king brought you there. Can you tell us? Please keep writing so we won't worry. And thank you to your friend Bo for helping you write to us. Love, your mother." "Your mother sounds nice," Bo said. Drake's eyes started to burn. He held back his tears. "Thanks," he said. "May I send her another letter to tell her about the dragons?" "You must not say anything about the dragons," Griffith said. "The king's secret must be kept." The wizard stood up. "Now it is time to shine your dragons. Let us go." As they were leaving the training room, Rory ran over to Anna. She started whispering to her. Drake kept an eye on Rory as they walked towards the dragon caves. She has a sneaky look on her face, he thought. What are she and Anna up to? Chapter 10. Worm's Story. Drake stepped inside Worm's dark cave. Worm opened one eye. "I need to shine your scales," Drake said. He was carrying a brush, a basket, and towels. Drake looked at Worm's brown scales. "They're not shiny," he said, "but I'll clean them anyway." Drake was still getting used to being around Worm. The dragon's head was as big as Drake. Worm could swallow Drake in one gulp if he wanted to. But something about Worm made Drake feel peaceful. Drake gently brushed one of Worm's scales. The big dragon made a sound low in his throat. Worm smiled and closed his eyes. "You like that?" Drake asked. Worm made another purring sound. Good. He cleaned Worm's scales, one at a time. "I kind of miss the onion field back at home," Drake said to his dragon. "It was hard work, but I loved being outside." Drake started to clean Worm's head. "And I really miss my family," Drake said. He scratched behind Worm's ears, like he did with his cat back at home. Then he felt his hand start tingling. He tried to take his hand off Worm, but he couldn't. It was stuck. Drake's eyes widened. He looked at Worm. The dragon was staring hard at him. Pictures popped into Drake's head. He saw the cave from his nightmare. He saw the explosion again. Before, Drake had woken up. This time the pictures kept coming. Worm was trying to get out of the cave. But the other dragons were in the way. Then soldiers rushed into the cave. Each soldier's shirt had a golden dragon sewn on it. "The king's soldiers?" Drake asked. The soldiers wrapped Worm in chains. They dragged him out of the cave. "Ow!" Drake could hear Worm's cry. Then his hand stopped tingling, and the pictures left his head. Drake looked at Worm. Did that really happen? Did the king's men take you away from your family? Just like they took me away from mine? Worm nodded. I'm so sorry, Drake said. He threw his arms around Worm's neck. Worm closed his eyes. All his life, Drake had looked up to King Roland. But why would the king's men treat Worm like a prisoner? Wondered Drake. Maybe he isn't such a good king after all. Did you enjoy Chapter 9 and 10? If so, hit that subscribe button. That way you'll know when the next chapter comes out. Thanks, everybody. Bye!